So currently in Mexico, there is protesting going on around American immigration to Mexico. The locals are demanding that the Americans learn Spanish, pay their taxes, and respect the local culture.
Mexico! Why y'all nutting up like that?
These protesters in Mexico City say cross-border migration is changing their country's capital for the worse. Over the last decade, an influx of mostly American so-called digital nomads have moved here to work remotely and also enjoy a cheaper cost of living. Protesters say the newcomers have driven up rents beyond the reach of locals.
If they're going to live in a country, they have to contribute to that country. The first and simplest issue is legal migration. They come here with visas or no visas, and still the change in purchasing power generates these problems of gentrification and displacement.
I'm here because gentrification is just one more step towards colonization, dispossession, and the exploitation of our resources. Right now it's about the people, but it won't be long before they run out of oil, water, or lithium in other countries and come and take them from us.
Many Americans in Mexico are able to still receive high salaries in dollars from U.S. companies by working on laptops from their apartments.
The government is directing its public policies towards people with higher purchasing power, often illegally displacing local populations who have lived in these neighborhoods for 40, 50, and we have even documented cases of up to 60 years. In 5 years, rents have increased by 47%. This is violent for the local population. We are debating whether to pay for electricity, water, or food. Of course, we choose to eat.
Some activists blame Mexico's government for encouraging them. However, there's no simple fix. Imposing tougher visa restrictions on Americans could worsen relations with the U.S. Mexican citizens in the U.S. also send billions of dollars in remittances back to their families in Mexico. In a world where travel and communication are faster and easier than ever, these two nations are finding it harder to have neighborly relations.
I really didn't want to say this, but you forced me to. Do you think Mexico can exist without white people's money? I mean, I've been to Cabo multiple times. Like they're down on the beach trying to, panhandle jewelry all day long and like, oh, we'll take 5, we'll take 2, we'll take 3, we'll take 1. I'm sorry. They need our money down there. If we just snapped our fingers and every white person disappeared from Mexico and all of our fucking money was gone, they'd be back to all dirt floors. Let's be honest here. Let's be real honest.
This protest happened on 4th of July in Mexico City, Mexico. Mexican locals protesting gentrification, or in my words, protesting colonization. And I love that they did this on 4th of July. And in the video, you can hear protesters saying, "Fuera Gringo," which means get out. And Gringo means someone who is from the United States. They are also chanting, "Mi casa no es su casa," which means my house is not your house. Gringos are moving to Mexico while holding a remote United States job. And they're enjoying the cheaper cost of living because obviously they're making money in dollars and spending it in pesos. These colonizers are spiking up the rent where locals are not able to afford housing. In the last 5 years, rent has spiked up by 47%. There was a protester that said that if they are going to live, the Gringos, if they are going to live in this country, they need to contribute to this country. And that is so true, because here in the United States, immigrants pay taxes. They contribute to this country. They pay over $100 billion in taxes. The Gringos in Mexico are not paying taxes. They make American dollars, US dollars, so they pay taxes to the US, not Mexico. Immigration policies in other countries for US citizens are lenient to non-existent. While here in the United States, as we speak, immigrants are being kidnapped off of the streets and into these concentration camps for profit. Gentrification is just a fancy word. Let's call it what it is. It's colonization. You want closed borders. You laugh and joke and celebrate, saying that you're going to feed the entire Hispanic Latino population here in the United States to alligators, but still come to our countries to colonize our countries. What is it that you say to my people in my community and all immigrants? Why don't you stay in your own country? Why don't you fight for your own country? You're not poor and can't afford rent, food in the USA because of immigrants. The United States isn't unaffordable because of immigrants, because that's why you moved to our countries, right? Because you can't afford to live in the United States. Immigrants are not the ones doing this to you. It's the greedy, rich people here in the United States. It's the greedy corporations. It's the greedy politicians doing this to you. It's the rich ruining this country. The rich here in the United States laugh at you. They think you're dumb. And that's why they lie in your face and laugh behind your back. They lie to you and tell you that it's the immigrant, that because of immigrants, you can't afford life in the United States. They lie to you and say it's because of the immigrant you can't afford food and housing. They laugh at you and lie to you, all the while lining their pockets. The Mexican local population is being illegally displaced so gringos can come and colonize Mexico. People who have lived in their neighborhoods and homes for 40, 50, 60 years being displaced so a gringo can come and colonize. Oh, and let's talk about the audacity U.S. citizens have when they come over to our countries. You want closed borders, you're racist pieces of shit. You come to our country wearing your maggot hat. You don't want to hear our music. You want our restaurants to make the food more bland for you. Because God forbid your food have seasoning. Oh, and get this one. U.S. tourists went to Puerto Rico and started poisoning the Puerto Rican frog, el coqui, because they did not like the noise they made. I am proud of Mexican citizens protesting this colonization. This needs to stop, and other countries need to start protesting colonization as well. If you do not like immigrants and you're a racist piece of shit and want closed borders, then you should not have easy access to our beautiful countries.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel once again. So guys, I want you to watch this video and see how Mexican they are kicking out white Americans in Mexico. So kindly guys, watch this video and see how Americans they are really being chased away in Mexico. Watch this, then I'll be back with more comment. All credits goes to the original creator of the video. I'm your host, Dash Lifestyle.
Haha, my boy, they're kicking out all the Americans from Mexico, my boy. Did you hear the news, my boy? All the Mexicanos, my boy, they're sick and tired of all the gringos coming into Mexico, my boy, and taking their land, my boy. They got up and started breaking stuff, my boy, telling all the Americanos, my boy, to go back home, my boy. It's funny, my boy, because all the gringos right now, all the Americans, my boy, they're saying, hey, you guys are being racist, my boy. Why are you guys kicking us out, my boy? This and that, my boy. It's crazy how the Americanos been kicking out all the Mexicanos, my boy. But yet, when the Mexicanos be kicking out the Americanos, it's like, oh, you guys are being racist, this and that, my boy. Hey, my boy, you guys be picking and choosing, my boy. What's it gonna be, my boy? Mexico's tired of all that, my boy. They're kicking out all the Americanos, my boy. They're tired of it, my boy. It's not going down, my boy. What do you guys think about this, my boy? Tell me, my boy. Are you mad, my boy?
White U.S. citizens is actually the largest group of immigrants in Mexico. And actually, a lot of them are visa overstay, so they're actually undocumented. So white people moving to Mexico has raised the price of home this year alone by 16% in the capital, and other years it's gone up 64%. I swear, everywhere white people go, they feel so entitled. They're walking around not even acknowledging the locals, raising the local prices for everything, pushing out the locals, and then overstaying their visa so they're undocumented. But when we do that, it's a real problem. And of course, they call themselves expat because immigrant is too beneath them. This is one of those things where it's like, what's fancy when you're white, but trashy when you're a person of color, immigrating for a better life. These people, if you're not going to respect where you're at, go back to where you came from.
Mexico! Why y'all nutting up like that? Now, I know a lot of y'all Mexicans started following me, so I'm gonna need y'all to confirm this with me. So, y'all peep this shit. Now, in Mexico, a lot of y'all motherfuckers is over there nutting up on Americans now. Now, y'all are, I read some of them signs that y'all had out there, and y'all started nutting up to a point where y'all started ravishing the damn city. Now, I completely understand why y'all doing that, because from what I heard, the more and more Americans come over, the more y'all prices are rising up. So like I said, I completely understand why y'all nutting the fuck up. But what I'm confused at is the word gringo. Like, what does that mean? Like, because I've heard it before, but every time it's been referred to from off of TV, you know, because, you know, anything off of TV I don't believe, you know what I'm saying? So I would like to confirm it with the people themselves. What does gringo mean? Because a lot of y'all signs says gringo, go back home and go fight for your country. Gringos, y'all not welcome here. I mean, it was just a whole bunch of fucking signs that I done fucking read. So what does gringo mean? And then, you know, y'all over here, y'all talking about the gringos, but I'm like, okay, but what about the black focos? Like, you know what I'm thinking? There is some black focos over there. So what about the black focos? Are they good? Because, like, any other country that's complaining, they're always complaining about, no offense, but they always complaining about white Americans, you know what I'm saying? Like, but they never complain about us black folks. So I'm always wondering why. So with that being said, what does gringo mean? Can y'all confirm this with me? Cause child, y'all black auntie is confused, okay? Cause y'all talking about the gringos go home. I'm like, okay, cool, but what about the black folks?
Mexicans deporting Americans is the funniest thing I've ever learned this year. So apparently Mexican authorities are deporting Americans who have colonized along the area of the beaches. Of course, in the nicer area of Mexico. So if you don't have the proper documentation, they're going to deport you back to United States. And you know, the most ironic thing is that these racist American people go live in different countries, like in Mexico, to live this luxury, beautiful, cheap life. And now they're getting deported. Yeah, the ones that say, go back to your country, go back to Mexico, go back to Guatemala, go back to Venezuela, go back to Cuba. Yeah, those are the ones living the luxury, beautiful life. Well, guess what? You're getting deported back to the United States. These people have exhausted the Mexican resources to live that beautiful lifestyle that they have over there in Mexico, that they cannot afford here in America. The table just turned. Pack it up, wrap it up.
Then why even post? Like, honestly, your whole TikTok is of you replying and crashing out to liberals with no point. Then why even post? You're calling for them like they pay your bills. Let me tell you, they don't pay your bills. You need to look for a 9-to-5 maybe. But what I also find pretty funny is that you're a naturalized citizen. You're over here simping for Maga. Maga is not even a political party. It's just a movement of people who miss the good old days where people like you or me weren't even allowed. But yeah, honestly, the jokes write themselves.
Yesterday, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt discussed how the Trump administration and Mexico are in trade talks for a huge trade deal. Here we go.
Mexico is still paying tariffs. They're paying a 25% tariff on fentanyl, 25% tariff on cars, a 50% tariff on steel, aluminum, and copper. And additionally, Mexico has agreed to immediately terminate its non-tariff trade barriers, of which there are many. And as the president said, we will continue to talk to Mexico over the next 90 days with the goal of signing a larger trade deal. The key to this, again, is Mexico has agreed to terminate those non-tariff barriers and to continue to work with us in good faith. faith. Mexico is a very unique situation of all the other countries around the world because, of course, we share our southern border with Mexico, which we've seen an increase in cooperation between Mexico's President Claudia Sheinbaum and our administration on clamping down on drug trafficking and human trafficking at the southern border. We appreciate those efforts and will continue to work in good faith and to continue to have these trade discussions as well.
America loves to erase ugly history. So let's talk about the time that the US deported over 2 million Mexicans, many of whom were actually American citizens. During the Great Depression, white Americans were blaming Mexicans that they were stealing jobs. Does that sound familiar to you? And the government solution? Mass deportations. But this wasn't just about undocumented immigrants. This included Mexican, American, US citizens. You're probably wondering, well, why are they being deported? You know what? It's as simple as them literally racially profiling Mexicans. All that they were looking for were Mexicans, no matter if they were an illegal immigrant or if they were a US citizen. Because the thing is that they deported over millions of fucking US citizens that were Mexican. They didn't care about legal status. They didn't care about families. They rounded up entire communities, grabbing people from their homes, from their workplace, from parks, and even their hospital bed. Imagine being sick in a hospital, being dragged out of your bed to get deported to a country that you have never lived in. And this is the thing, this isn't random. It was the US government, police officers, and everything else all the way up to federal level. They were working together to make sure that these communities were erased. They used propaganda to try and paint Mexicans as a burden, but then once they needed cheap labor, they decided to, guess what? Bring them back. Does that sound familiar? Because this playbook is still being used today. Latinos are still being blamed for the economic problems that they didn't even create. Immigrants are still being exploited for labor and then thrown away when it's convenient. This is the same country that has built its wealth off of immigration labor, but then turns their back when times get tough. This is why history matters. Okay, they want us to forget so we can keep forgetting, but here's the thing. We see the pattern. So what are we going to do about it? What are we going to do about it?
Why is it that America is called racist for protecting its own borders when every other country does the exact same thing? Because every time America enforces its immigration laws, the media is screaming that we are racist, that we are colonizers. But if we take one look around the world, every nation has borders. Every nation has immigration laws. And guess what? Most of them are actually stricter than the United States. Let's look at Mexico, for example. Right now, currently, not in the past, there are protests erupting in Mexico City over immigration. And guess what the people are demanding? They want migrants to go home, to learn the language, to assimilate, or to get out of their country. Does that sound familiar? Because when Americans say the same thing, learn the language, follow the law, respect the culture, or get out, suddenly we're the bad guys. We're the racist colonizers. We're some evil empire. No, we're just a sovereign nation, doing what every other sane country on earth is doing, protecting our country. Our country has borders. We didn't invent that. You don't walk into someone's house uninvited. You don't just walk up into their yard. You don't walk up into their property, start breaking their rules, and then accuse them of being hateful when they call the police or they ask you to leave their property. But if immigrants break into our country, we're not allowed to feel that exact same way.
The Mexicans said, if we got to go, y'all got to go. Yes, they're coming for you, Americans. There have been over 240,000 apprehensions over the past 60 days, and 7,000 Americans have been deported. And anybody who says that they did not see this coming, you're crazy, because think about it. We're trying to put them off of our land. Look how adamant we've been about that. You don't think they try to put us off of their land? And you don't think the Mexicans see them Americans over there living their best life just like we see the Mexicans over here living their best life? Do I feel bad? No. And I also understand why they'd want to do it. I mean, think about it. We go over there for leisure all the time. but we're like so adamant about trying to get them, like, make it make sense. And the Americans who went over there and decided to colonize on their land, I mean, of course we understand why they did it. The American dollar has a higher value than the Mexican currency. You know, their businesses, there's better business opportunities. I mean, I understand why they did it, but their quality of life, the Mexicans, their quality of life is going down and prices on their businesses are increasing. So they're like, you got to get the home. So any American who's been shacking up on Mexican land, if you don't have legitimate paperwork, they're coming for you. Yes, they're putting you on their bus and they're bringing you back over here. And you and the people who they're taking back probably gonna pass each other on the bus.
Did you hear about that? Mexico is now deporting Americans out of Mexico. All you ones that want to go be happy the immigrants are being deported and then go visit Mexico or live in Mexico while you run your business here in America, them days are over. Y'all want to laugh at the immigrants for being deported? Are they laughing at you? Bye, get out of Mexico. And the president of Mexico is welcoming all the immigrants back home. Please come home. We welcome you with loving arms, she said. Y'all gonna see the tides are gonna change. These immigrants are gonna stop being treated the way y'all treating them and laughing at them and locking them up, detaining them and beating them. Them days are over. Mexico is fighting back and they're gonna deport you from their country. And I hope it's one of you Magas that are so happy they getting deported. I hope it's one of you that get deported from Mexico. Bye.
Breaking news. The president of Mexico has stated that he will begin to deport Americans that have moved to Mexico without proper documentation, aka illegal immigrants. This comes after the president of Mexico states that he is tired of Americans gentrifying cities in Mexico. In the past 3 weeks, we have seen different events where Americans try to colonize beaches, public areas, and even salsa. While a lot of these Americans have moved to Mexico for a better life, they move there because they cannot afford to live here in the United States. So move to Mexico so they can afford a lifestyle there. But locals have raised their prices because Americans are paying in dollars while locals that are still shopping have to pay in pesos and now have to pay the equivalent of the dollar. And instead of these people moving to Mexico and bettering the economy, they're making it horrible for the people that live there, you know, the natives. And if you already did not know, the amount of Mexicans migrating to the United States has slowed down by the 100,000 since 2019. The amount of Mexicans living in the United States leaving willingly back to Mexico has increased drastically. And while Mexicans are moving back to Mexico, a lot of Americans have been moving to Mexico for a better life. But my, how the tables have turned. What are your thoughts?
U.S. News won't show you this, but I will. Gabriel Seth Rogers, a white U.S. citizen from Casper, Wyoming, was just arrested in Sinaloa, Mexico. And his crime? He was fleeing the United States to avoid prison time for drug trafficking and possession of stolen firearms. He was sentenced to 44 months in prison, plus supervised release in order to pay over $27,000 in restitution. But before he could serve his sentence, he fled and crossed the border into Mexico. Rogers was tracked down living comfortably in a gated community in Sinaloa, Mexico. Thanks to coordinated efforts by the Mexican military and federal agencies, he's now in custody awaiting deportation. So a white American drug trafficker flees to Mexico, gets arrested by Mexican authorities, and then deported back to the US. And the Trump administration is saying Mexico isn't sending their best. Funny how people in the United States never hear about stories like Gabriel here.
You know, the irony that Mexican citizens in Mexico City are protesting American presence in their country. What in the uno reverso? Listen, that's what happens. Don't you think that the timing of it is just ironic? You know, America starts kicking all of the Mexicans out, and then Mexicans are like, no. We want you out of here too, because you're gentrifying our city. And I love that. I love that because, yeah, you want the benefit. Because believe it or not, a lot of Americans actually live in Mexico illegally. I know, it's crazy. Wow. And so no, they want tougher legislation on it. And yeah, they're pissed. And I love that for them. So
Yo, it's your favorite brainwashed liberal here, and I don't think I've ever seen so much retaliation from other countries towards the United States, for obvious reasons, like Donald Trump. So spring break has been a disaster for Maga, specifically Maga Americans that are trying to find a cheap place to retire and go live at, particularly in vacation spots like Cancun and Acapulco, places like that, because Mexican people watch the news and they've been paying attention to how Americans talk about Mexican people living in America. Not only that, but it's actually been really disastrous for MAGA Americans specifically, and just Americans in general who are looking for a cheap place to retire. It's been disastrous for the Mexican people. There's a kind of like hard gentrification happening there where rent has risen as a result of gentrification, like by about 40%, probably even more than that by the time that this video goes out. And it really just sort of makes it so that impoverished Mexicans have to further choose between rent, food, and things like electricity, not to mention other expenses. There's people saying that MAGA shouldn't be wearing their red hats or anything, or any pro-Trump merch. This can lead to them being targeted by Mexican citizens and things like that, which, I don't condone, but more power to Mexico. And apparently there's stuff on the news about people reportedly destroying businesses and things like places that have set up shop and everything like that. I don't know if that's true or not. But it begs the question, if you proudly wear your anti-Mexican hate, not only through your merch, but also your rhetoric and everything like that, why would you go to Mexico? You don't like those people. And they sure as hell don't like you, so what are you doing, man? This is further illustrated by people who are vacationing in Mexico, being held up at the airport and being sent to the immigration line, being searched, and it's just they're just trolling. Making life absolutely miserable for those who expect white privilege in other countries. I've even heard about personal anecdotes of people who go to beaches and tell mariachi bands to stop playing mariachi music, which, I mean, come on, bro. And they can't even really just eat their food in peace. Like, MAGA is just not catching a break. Like, people have been saying that during spring break, which is when this all started, restaurants are secretly spitting in the foods and beverages of MAGA Americans. But the thing that really pisses them off the most, other than, the possible gentrification and the proud hatred of Mexican people through merchandise, is really just the family separation, the anti-immigration, things like that, and just the general racism. So, yeah, that's just karma, guys. Like, don't mess with the Mexican people. And more importantly, don't be racist.
People forget that the Spanish colonial system was literally codified in paintings. This is how they depicted race. There were 16 or more races in colonial Spain, or Mexico in the American Southwest. At the top were white people, and all the white people had different names depending on their mixture. In the middle are indigenous people, which is right here in the middle. And then down here are black people, or West African people that they brought during slavery. So this shows you that these are the three different groups that created the colonial system of Mexico. So the people who are denying that black people were part of the cowboy culture, vaquero culture, literally right here, they are part of the culture. In the middle, indigenous people were in the middle. They had better treatment than black people, and the white people were at the top. Spanish inherited the system from the Moors, and in 1491, that's when they defeated the Moors, and in 1492 is when they came to, but this is their system. This is how they codified their system to say, oh, if you're mixed with this and this and that, this is what you are. And so the goal was, it was like a game or something. The goal was, how do you get to whiteness? And this is how you did it. The colonial system of Mexico is or Nueva España was very different from the British one. And so people that are denying certain things about black Mexicans, well, the evidence is in the paintings, literally. Really important to understand these really, really nuanced things about the Spanish system that are very different from the British one.
Mexican rioters are kicking Americans out of their country. Look at this. This is crazy. This is happening in Mexico City. They are destroying businesses. Look at this. Oh, there goes the glass. And they're going in. Oh man, look at all the people filming. This is crazy. They're telling them to leave the country. This guy's writing to a Gringo. That's not good. Here they are trying to break into a restaurant, starting to spray paint on it. Look at that. This guy's got a knife. That's terrifying, man. Ripping down the outdoor dining. There's so many people filming it, and there's zero police anywhere. What do you do? No police. What do you do? Now they're attacking some apartments, it looks like. Throwing rocks at them. It's just total anarchy.
I live in a town of 8,600 people. It's 98.1% white. Care to take a guess what our crime rate is?
Guarantee you say where you live, it's gonna go up. Oh, he's not done.
Do Asians see things that are far away better than we do because they're already squinting?
Keep it up, sir. I'm sure somebody's about to give you 2 black eyes and make you squint.
Look, I'm not saying ICE may or may not have made a couple oopsies, but everybody makes some oopsies. And I don't know why you're complaining about ICE making an oopsie and deporting somebody to another country, because you demand the right for when you make an oopsie, you can kill it. We're not killing anything.
Okay, so let me get this straight. White people are going down to Mexico for vacation and are complaining that the Mexican bands that play on the Mexican beaches are too loud. And the white people complain so much that the Mexicans that ran those Mexican hotels was trying to ban the Mexican bands from playing Mexican music on the Mexican beaches. So the Mexican president got involved and had to send the Mexican military to go down to the Mexican beach because there was too many Mexican protesters protesting against the white people who were trying to ban the Mexican bands. And so the Mexican military is singing alongside the Mexican protesters. Then y'all get mad when people call y'all mayonnaise warriors. Not only that, they have mayonnaise warriors who have moved down to Mexico that have caused a lot of the Mexican restaurants to stop making spicy food. So a lot of the Mexican restaurants are saying that they have to throw out tons and tons of food because white people are complaining so much about the food being spicy that they have to redo a lot of their orders. How about the white people in Mexico? Why don't you go back to your country? And y'all quick to say, it's not always about race. So what is this?
So guys, I hope you have watched that video and you have seen how Americans, they are being chased out of Mexico, and also majority of Mexicans, they have said that they have come out and said that they have had enough of American people in their country, simply because when these Americans people, they are coming to their country, they are making the cost of living to go up, and also they are increasing house rent, and generally they are making the economy of the locals Mexican to go high. And that's why majority of Mexican, they have decided to come out and say, no, you Americans, you are coming in our country with your dollars and you are making life to become more high. The cost of living, it is becoming high because you are coming with the dollar, and because you are coming with the dollar, you feel like you can buy or purchase anything with your dollar, because you cannot compare the economy in America and the economy in Mexico. So Mexican, when you are coming with a dollar from United States, when you're coming to Mexico, the people who are the Americans, they feel like Mexico, it is a little bit cheap and they can afford so many things while they are in their country, America. So we have been seeing majority of Americans, they have been going out of their country to come and stay in Mexico and retire in Mexico. But right now, Mexican, they have said, no, these Americans people, they are coming with dollar. With their dollar, they are increasing the cost of living, and also the houses rent, it is going up, and also these people, they will not pay tax. So because of that, Mexican, they have said, no, you Americans, go out of back to your country. And also, apart from that, you have been seeing how Donald Trump during the campaign season, he was saying that the Mexican people are the ones who are bringing in the drugs in America. And also they are saying that those people who are in Mexico, they are people who have done wrong things in their country, they have just run away. These people, they are bringing bad blood in America. So in short, Mexican, they see sorry, in short, Mexican, they saw that Donald Trump, he doesn't want their people in Mexico. And also because of that, also we have been seeing how high it has been deporting illegal immigrant people back to their country. We have been seeing how the Mexican people, those who are illegally in America, how they have been deported. And also you saw Donald Trump is saying, he was saying that he's going to build a big wall. Yeah, he wants to build a big wall so that the Mexican, they cannot just enter in America. So because of that, a Mexican also, they feel like these American people, they don't want us in their country. Why are they now coming back to, why are they now coming to Mexico? So also that one, it has triggered and make majority of Mexican to come out and protest and send back these Americans back to their country. And also this is now how it's supposed to be done, because this America right now, it is known for detaining immigrant people, for deporting immigrant people. In short, these people, they don't want people back in the in America. They don't want immigrant people in America. Why are they now running towards Mexican? Why are they now running out of their country to come in Mexico or in Canada or in any country that they feel like they can afford? So if these American people, they are treating bad black immigrant people, also they should expect the same reception while they are coming to the other country, simply because right now America, it is known for it is not safe for immigrant people, and that's why majority of people right now, they have been avoiding America. So these people, they need to go back to their country and fix the mess in their country. They should not they should not expect to treat immigrant people bad in their country while they are coming to this other country to be treated very good. No, Mexican, they have said no, tit for tat, deport our people, and also we are going to deport your people. So chase us in your country, and also we are going to chase your people in your country. So guys, I have some of the comments here that I want to read it for you. Remember, this is the second part of the video. I did the first video and this is the second part, and let's see what people they are saying in the comment section. So this one is saying that they receive the same energy they give everyone else. Exactly. The same energy right now they are receiving, it is the same energy they have also treating immigrant people in their country. So this one saying that overstaying visa, not speaking the language sounds familiar, except these colonizers have the nerve to be arrogant. Viva Mexican, tell them like it is. Exactly. So these people, when they are coming to Mexico, they are coming with a valid visa, but these people, they usually overstayed in Mexico simply because they know they are coming from the big country, from the first world country. They cannot be touched, they cannot be deported. So Mexican, they are saying no, you gringos, you need to go back to your country. So this one saying that crazy how the illegal immigrant in the US actually contributed by paying tax. Exactly. So you have seen how immigrant people, they have contributed to pay tax in America, but when they are coming in this other country, no, they cannot. In Mexico, they don't want to pay tax. So this one saying that you can't treat a country peoples like shit in America and then expect to be welcome or treat well in that country. Not anymore. Exactly. These Americans, they have been treating people bad, the immigrant people bad in their country. So while they are coming to this other country, also they need to expect to be treated like that. This one saying that outstanding job Mexico. This one saying that Mexico is giving Maga a taste of its own medicine. Viva Mexico. This one is saying that if white people call America sovereign nation and expect foreigners to speak English, follow national rules and leave when their visas are up, why are Americans complaining when other countries expect the same? This one saying that some Americans cannot understand there are more to life than money. Exactly, the American, they need to understand there are more to life than money. This one saying that good for Mexico. I totally agree with them. You can see majority of people that are supporting Mexico. This one saying that let's all be clear, they mean white Americans, not the rest of us. Exactly. This Mexican, the Mexican, they are say they are now chasing white Americans, not all Americans. This one saying that I am 73 years old living in Trump treasonous traitors nightmare, formerly known as America. America. I stand with the good people of Mexico. Stop the fascists traitor from infiltrating your wonderful country. Russia sent in large number of Russians to border countries and start taking over small cities, town, electing mayor, city council, etc. This was saying that United States Americans have a long history, hundred of years taking land and resources that never belonged to them. Karma had to come one day. Exactly. This one saying that Mexicans have their rights to demand that people follow Mexican law and have the proper paperwork. Exactly. So those Americans who are in Mexico, who they have overstayed, they need also to follow the rules of the land. So this one saying that I love the fact that she is using the correct terminology: colonization, NTC, gentrification. This one is saying that I will never understand why in the hell is panic vote for Trump. This one is saying that that's the thing Trump did. Mass deportation, tariff to every country, made fun of other, and USA through those countries were just going to sit around and do nothing about it. Yeah, exactly. Donald Trump came and introduced taxes, tariff to impounded taxes to other country, thinking that this country they will sit down and relax. No, they are now retaliating. This was saying that Mexico is spot on. Viva Mexico. This one saying that for the woman talking about assimilating when going to someone else's country, although it's true, but a lot of Americans go to other people's country and have the audacity to tell the people living there to speak English and change their local food to appear the US foreigner. Is it really a wonder? Is it really a wonder why the rest of the world can't stand the USA? This one saying that good for you, Mexico. Colombia should do the same thing. This one saying that I believe America white people cause stress and distraction to every country they are in. This was saying that good for Mexico. This was saying that America isn't a country, it is a business. That why when people that live there travel, they lived by their wallet, not their soul, moral or level of respect. Yeah, this one saying that America, it is not a country, it is a business. And that's why when there are people that are going out of their country, when the Americans they are visiting this other country, they go there with they go there with money, thinking that everything it is all about money. So this one saying that when they travel, they are lived by their wallet, not their soul. So they don't respect other when they are going to this other country, they don't respect their culture. They think that all thing it is all about money. So Kali guys, you can also share your thought on the comment section. I'll be reading it in my next video. So thank you so much guys. Subscribe if you haven't, like this video, share and also comment. See you on my next one guys. Bye bye.